What makes you want to be a Laker for life?
Fans in LA have treated me, great ever since day one. I want to win a championship more than anything, especially with that organization.
Laker fans are very concerned about what Austin Reaves just did. And picture this, you're Austin Reaves, you're 26 years old. The Los Angeles Lakers put $89.2 million on the table, which is life-changing money, generational wealth. And he looked at the contract and pretty much said,
I'm good.
Now the real reason is he's trying to opt for even more money, but will this gamble pay off, and could this mean the end of Austin Reaves' tenure with the Los Angeles Lakers? Because we all know Austin Reaves isn't your average player, and the money he's trying to opt for might not be money that the Los Angeles Lakers could afford. So before we get to the content, we have been going crazy since the beginning of the NBA offseason. We've dropped 6 videos in the past 2 days alone. So if you want to stay up to date, make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications. And on YouTube, once you exceed 3 YouTube videos in a 24-hour span, you stop getting notifications. So I highly recommend you follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok so you can make sure that you're up to date with the latest NBA news and explanations for everything that's happening. And now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. You remember the 4-man I ran in my Luka Doncic video on Prize Picks? Well, that risk-free $25 hit. Now, if you didn't take that opportunity, you could still sign up for Prize Picks using my promo code microphone to get a free $50 when you make a play of $5 or more. And if you go into the description down below, there will be a link to join my Discord server where we've been hitting on baseball, WNBA, and NBA on a daily basis. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Austin Reaves' story is one of the best stories in sports because the guy just simply wasn't supposed to be here. The dude was so confident in his plan that back in 2021, he literally told the Detroit Pistons not to draft him at pick number 42. Think about that. Austin Reaves opted to be undrafted as opposed to being selected at the 42 overall pick. And that's because his agent had one target in mind, and that was the Los Angeles Lakers. And that bet is about to make him $157 million richer or cost him everything. But before we get to that life-altering decision, you need to see how insane Austin Reaves' rise has truly been. Fast forward to today, and this undrafted kid from Arkansas is putting up 20.2 points, 5.8 assists, and 4.5 rebounds per game while shooting 46% from the field and 37.7% from 3. Those aren't just role player numbers. Austin Reaves is a borderline all-star. To really quantify how great Austin Reaves has been, he's one of only 10 players in Los Angeles Lakers history to average 20 points and 5 assists in a season. We're talking about a franchise that's had Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Jerry West, and Austin freaking Reaves is on this list. And this isn't just a Los Angeles Laker fan that's overhyping one of the players on the team. Even Rob Pelinka called Austin Reaves one of the 3 pillars of the organization alongside LeBron James and Luka Doncic. And here's where it gets interesting, and this is something that most people aren't talking about. LeBron James's contract decision this summer could determine whether Austin Reaves stays a Laker or becomes the next star to leave the Los Angeles Lakers. I'll explain that connection in just a minute, but let's break down the news that is shaking Los Angeles Lakers fans. On June 26, 2025, according to Dan Wojcicki from The Athletic, league sources confirmed that Austin Reaves has formally declined the Los Angeles Lakers max extension offer. The deal was 4 years, $89.2 million, starting at $19.9 million per year. Now, guys, typically when this happens, I'll come out here, make a video, or sometimes I won't even make a video on it at all because it's fairly obvious that a star player is trying to reject the existing contract extension, wait one more season, and try to get even more money. And we've seen this in cases of Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, and even Paul George, although Paul George ended up leaving the Los Angeles Clippers as a result of this. But here's what's important, and this is coming straight from The Athletic's reporting. The decision wasn't a reflection of Reaves and the Los Angeles Lakers relationship. Instead, it's almost a foregone conclusion considering the limitations placed on the amount the Lakers were allowed to offer. The Los Angeles Lakers literally couldn't offer him what he's actually worth under the current CBA rules. So here's the real reason why Austin Reaves is waiting a year. If he waits one more year and hits free agency in 2026, he could sign for up to $246.7 million over 5 years with the Los Angeles Lakers. That's a potential difference of $157 million. For a player that took a huge pay cut on his previous contract, you probably don't want to take another massive pay cut when you can get paid generational sums of money. But here's the catch, it all comes down to what LeBron James does with his contract this summer. We've made a video on this before, but it's not being talked about so much by mainstream media. I don't know if the James family has some sort of control over the media to make sure that his name doesn't get a bad rap for doing this, but LeBron James has a $54 million player option for next season, and according to Shams, he'll probably opt into that because his son Bryce will be draft eligible in 2026. I personally think it's ridiculous that LeBron James would want to take $54 million because he's a billionaire, and if he took a pay cut, then his team could be one of the most overpowered teams in the association. Because here's where it gets messy. The Lakers have $118.2 million committed to 7 players next season. Luka is getting paid $45.9 million. Rui is getting paid $18.3 million. Austin Reaves is getting paid $13.9 million. When you add in the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers roster and LeBron James's $54 million, you're at $172.2 million, which is already over the projected $154.6 million salary cap. And here's what's going to determine Austin Reaves' entire future. If LeBron takes anywhere near a max deal, then the Los Angeles Lakers would have to commit around 80% of their cap room to their top 3 players when it comes time to pay Reaves. That leaves basically nothing for the rest of the roster. You're pretty much turning the Los Angeles Lakers into last year's iteration of the Phoenix Suns, and history has already shown you that committing a significant chunk of your salary cap space to 3 players on your roster and then filling out the rest of the roster with veteran minimum players just simply doesn't work. But if LeBron James does take a pay cut, the Lakers could have nearly $30 million in cap space to round out their roster this summer, which would create the flexibility needed to eventually pay Austin Reaves what he's worth. The question is, will LeBron James sacrifice money for the team's future, or will his greed cost them their rising star? And bear in mind, this isn't the first act of war that Austin Reaves has declared. His agent Aaron Riley went nuclear on social media after fans kept throwing Austin Reaves' name in trade rumors for other centers, saying next year is going to be a show. People have no idea what's to come. Keep putting him in trade rumors for second string centers. That's not just confidence, that's a declaration of war. He's basically telling the entire NBA world,
y'all are about to find out what my client's truly worth.
And these trade rumors make a lot of sense when you do a deep dive into Austin Reaves' performance. On Christmas Day 2024, the Los Angeles Lakers took on the Golden State Warriors on national TV. Austin Reaves drops a triple-double, 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. But that's not even the best part of his performance. With 1.1 seconds left in the game is tied, Austin Reaves takes the ball, drives to the basket, and hits the game-winning layup. He became the 10th player in NBA history to record a Christmas Day triple-double, and after the game, the dude who's usually stone cold emotionless said, "I'm not really an emotional person, but there was a quick second where I thought I might tear up. I'm not necessarily supposed to be in this position." That's when everybody knew this wasn't just some feel-good story anymore. This was a legitimate NBA star in the making. But Laker fans know there's a huge problem that comes with Austin Reaves, and it's a big one that completely altered Laker fans' perception around him. Let's keep it real. I've hyped up Austin Reaves for the majority of this video, but we gotta talk about the bad as well. The 2025 NBA playoffs was not Austin Reaves' finest moment. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, his numbers dropped to 16.2 points on just 41.1% shooting. His 3-point percentage fell to 31.9%. And in the fourth quarter, man, it was really tough. The man had just 3 total points in fourth quarters across the entire series. Mind you, JJ Redick was playing Austin Reaves a large majority of the game. Bill Plaschke from the LA Times went in on him, saying in less than 2 weeks, he went from untouchable to untenable, and the new opinion on him is now clear. If Austin Reaves is the Lakers' 3rd best player, they're going to have a difficult time winning a championship. Plaschke even wrote that the Lakers should trade him. Can you believe that? From untouchable to trade bait in 5 games, means the switch up was real. But here's why that playoff performance might not matter at all when it comes to his next contract, and it has everything to do with one cautionary tale that should terrify Austin Reaves. Before you think Reaves is crazy for turning down guaranteed money, there's a perfect example right in Los Angeles Lakers history that should terrify him, and that's Dennis Schroeder. Back in 2021, Dennis Schroeder was in almost the exact same position as Austin Reaves. The Los Angeles Lakers offered him a 4-year, $84 million extension. He turned it down thinking that he could get more in free agency. And what happened? He went scoreless in Game 5 of the playoffs against the Suns, the Lakers got bounced, and suddenly nobody wanted to pay him big money. He ended up signing with the Celtics for $5.9 million that offseason. That's a $78 million mistake. Schroeder later admitted his agent at the time, Alex Saratzis, advised him to turn down the Lakers offer. And I would have signed it, Schroeder said. I would never just leave money on the table. My mom didn't raise me that way. He called it the worst 2 years of his career, making only $8 million total during that stretch. But here's the difference between Schroeder and Reaves and why this gamble might actually pay off. See, it's not all doom and gloom when you bet on yourself. Do you remember Fred VanVleet? Undrafted, kept betting on himself, turned into an all-star making over $40 million per year. Or Max Scherzer in baseball, turned down $144 million, ended up signing for $210 million. By the way, if you're into baseball content, we have a separate channel for that. It's called Uni Diamond Talk. We're just starting it up, and I'll leave a link to it in the description down below if you want to support us. But the closest comparison to Austin Reaves is Duncan Robinson, another undrafted guard who became essential to his team system. He signed the largest contract ever for an undrafted player, 5 years, $90 million. But even that would be less than half of what Reaves could potentially get in 2026. So let's break down exactly what Austin Reaves is betting on. According to Joe Von Buha from The Athletic, here's how this is expected to play out. The Lakers will make their contract extension offer to Austin on July 6th or sometime around then, and they'll offer him about $89.2 million. Austin Reaves will decline that and not sign that extension and then opt out of his contract after the 2025-26 season. If he waits until 2026 and becomes an unrestricted free agent, he'd be eligible for a starting salary of around $42.5 million per year. That's 25% of the projected salary cap. The Lakers could offer him a 5-year deal worth $246.7 million, and other teams could offer 4 years at $182.9 million. And here's the kicker: Buha says that Reaves should be making at least $27 to $28 million plus, if not $30 million plus moving forward. Eric Pincus from Bleacher Report agrees, reporting that Reaves is seeking a salary in the $30 million starting range. But here's where LeBron's decision becomes crucial and why the Lakers might be forced to make a choice that they really don't want to make. You see, the Lakers are stuck in an impossible position, and it all comes down to LeBron's contract. And here's why. If LeBron opts into his $54 million player option, the Lakers would have to commit around 80% of their cap room to their top 3 players when it comes time to pay Reaves. That means virtually no money left for anyone else. But here's the plot twist. If LeBron retires after the 2025-26 season, the Lakers could have upwards of $69 million in cap space in 2026, even with Reaves' cap hold on their books. That's enough to sign someone to a max deal and still land another impact player. So the Lakers have 3 options. The first option is keep LeBron at max money and lose Reaves to free agency. The second option is convince LeBron to take a pay cut to keep Reaves. And the third option is a fairly likely option in my opinion, is trade Austin Reaves now while his value is high. The Lakers have been desperately searching for a center, and names like Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford, and Domantas Sabonis kept coming up. And guess whose name is always attached as the trade piece? Austin Reaves. According to the LA Times, Reaves is not viewed as untradeable, but if the Lakers are going to trade him for a center, they're going to want one that is foundationally important, a build-around type, and not just a fill-in. And that's exactly why Bill Simmons made a prediction that's going to shock you. Bill Simmons already believes that Austin Reaves has played his final game in a Lakers jersey, saying when Reaves gets traded this summer, and he will get traded, the stuff the Lakers will get back for him is going to make it seem worse. But here's the thing, both LeBron James and Luka Doncic reportedly don't want Reaves traded. Rob Pelinka specifically even said that Luka Doncic believes in Austin Reaves. And here's what makes this situation so crazy: everything is lining up perfectly for Austin Reaves. The salary cap is going up 10% every year thanks to the new TV deal. By 2026, there's going to be at least 8 teams with major cap space. Teams like the Brooklyn Nets and San Antonio Spurs are already being mentioned as potential suitors. And Reaves, he's entering his prime at 26 years old. He's proven that he can be a primary ball handler, a clutch performer, and a guy who shows up in big games. In today's NBA, NBA, that's worth $30 million plus very easily for some teams. Remember, in 2023, the San Antonio Spurs were willing to offer him a maximum of $100 million over 4 years when he was a restricted free agent. But that was before his breakout season. So let's go back to the 3 scenarios I outlined for you. Scenario 1 is LeBron takes a pay cut, and if LeBron does reduce his salary to help the team, the Lakers keep flexibility and eventually pay Austin Reaves what he's worth. Reaves has a monster season, makes the All-Star team, and then signs that monster contract to stay in LA. If LeBron takes his full $54 million, then the Lakers are forced to choose between an aging superstar and a rising superstar, which means the Lakers would either have to trade Reaves by the trade deadline for a center or lose him for nothing in free agency. And scenario 3 might be a dream scenario for Laker fans, and that's if LeBron James decides to retire. If LeBron decides to retire, the Lakers could build around Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves with enough money left over to add another star. In my personal opinion, I think scenario 2 is the most likely. LeBron's not giving up any money even though he's a billionaire, which means the Lakers will probably trade Reaves before they lose him for nothing, and that would be a massive mistake. So at the end of the day, this isn't your typical scenario of one of your team's best players turning down a contract extension. This could be the very first move in a huge chess game between the Lakers and Austin Reaves, and there are a lot of variables at play here. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this situation? Aside from that, I don't know if you guys heard, the NBA draft just went down, and I have my biggest winners and losers already outlined for you guys in a video. I'm gonna leave that video in the end screen. I'll meet you guys there. We also have a brand new baseball video on our channel, Uni Diamond Talk, and I'm gonna leave it to the left of the screen as well. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.